Welcome to the deep dive. So glad you could join us. If you're listening, you're likely someone who's really into self-growth, understanding yourself better.
Making real changes? Yeah.
Yeah.
And today, we're tackling something huge.
hmm
Our whole relationship with money. How to shift from, stress to actual abundance.
Exactly. And look, this isn't just about budgeting tips or spreadsheets.
No, not at all. It's deeper. It's about mindset, feelings, which the Awaken Your Potential YouTube channel covers brilliantly. We were really struck by their recent video. Break free from financial stress and attract real abundance today.
Yeah, that video really nails it. You should definitely check out their channel if you haven't already. Lots of great stuff there that complements what we'll be digging into.
For sure. So our mission today, kind of unpack those core principles, drawing heavily from Awaken Your Potential to help you reshape how you think and feel
Right.
about money.
Right. Let's maybe start with, okay, where does all this anxiety actually come from? Awaken Your Potential highlights that money often taps into really deep stuff.
Oh, absolutely. Things like our need for safety, our sense of freedom, even how we value ourselves. It all gets tangled up with money, doesn't it?
It really does. But as they point out, the stress isn't really in the money itself.
Exactly. It's in the emotions we attach, the beliefs we hold, often without even realizing it, and the stories we tell ourselves about it.
Yeah, like maybe things from childhood or past struggles. They leave these sorts of hidden triggers.
And then suddenly, just paying a bill or thinking about savings feels totally overwhelming.
Awaken Your Potential really pushes for some self-reflection here, which I think is key.
Yeah, like asking yourself, when you think about money, what feelings actually come up? Is it fear, guilt, maybe excitement?
Do you notice it physically, like tension in your shoulders or a knot in your stomach?
And then, the big question they pose. Imagine if you could deal with money stuff calmly. How would that actually change your life?
That's a powerful starting point, which leads nicely into the next big idea from Awaken Your Potential, understanding your personal money story.
Ah, yes, the money story. We all have one, apparently.
Yeah.
Often built from messages we picked up when we were young.
Totally. Things like money doesn't grow on trees, or maybe rich people are greedy, or even subtle things about what's okay to spend money on.
And Awaken Your Potential makes it really clear how these ingrained messages, these stories, directly influence how we handle money as adults.
Right. It can show up as, always feeling like you need to spend, or maybe the opposite, hoarding every penny.
Or just avoiding finances altogether because it feels too scary. Or maybe even consistently under-earning because you don't feel worthy.
And here's a really interesting point from Awaken Your Potential. Real abundance starts inside. It's about your internal energy, not just the number in your bank account.
That internal state of enough. It's counterintuitive sometimes.
It is. They talk about this paradox of abundance.
Yeah, the idea that by relaxing, by creating space, you actually allow more to come in. It's less about frantic chasing and more about receiving.
Which connects to their point that true wealth isn't just financial, it's emotional freedom.
That feeling of peace around money, regardless of the amount.
Yeah.
That's the real goal, they suggest.
So thinking about this, awaken your potential wisdom. Where could you maybe bring a bit more softness or trust into your relationship with money?
What shifts if you focus on feeling abundant right now?
Yeah.
It's a challenge.
Okay, so you start seeing the story, the anxiety. What's next? Well, awaken your potential emphasizes actively rewriting that story. And the first step, realizing your current situation doesn't define you.
That's so important. It's not a life sentence. They really hammer home the power of beliefs. Our beliefs shape our actions.
Which then create our results. It's a cycle. If you believe deep down, you'll always struggle.
You might unconsciously make choices that reinforce that belief. Awaken Your Potential frames money as an energy, too.
Yeah, an energy that responds to our thoughts and feelings. Interesting way to put it.
So the shift, according to their framework, is moving away from feeling like a victim of your circumstances.
And towards being helpful, like focusing on creating value.
Exactly. Through things you're passionate about, through generosity, it shifts the energy.
And they broaden the definition of wealth again here, don't they?
Absolutely. It's emotional health, strong relationships, feeling connected, having a sense of purpose.
Yeah.
That's all part of true wealth.
So as you think about rewriting your story, drawing on awaken your potential, what old beliefs are you ready to just let go of?
And what news story, what empowering narrative about abundance feels right to step into?
Okay, let's talk about scarcity. Awaken Your Potential identifies this as a major block, the scarcity trap.
Right. And it's not just about literally not having enough money. It's a mindset, that feeling of never enough.
Yeah, even people with plenty of money can operate from scarcity.
Definitely. Awaken Your Potential gives examples like
Yep.
undercharging for your work, feeling guilty spending money even when you can afford it.
Or being afraid to share resources or knowledge because you think it'll somehow deplete you. It's all rooted in fear, isn't it?
Fear that there isn't enough to go around. And the antidote they propose, trust.
Trust. Okay, how does that work in practice?
Well, think about making financial decisions. If you make them from fear, you'll likely be defensive, maybe miss opportunities.
But if you make them from a place of trust, trust in yourself, trust that things can work out.
Your decisions might look very different, more open, maybe more courageous. It's a fundamental shift.
Mhm.
Awaken Your Potential guides people towards.
Makes you think, right? How would your choices change if trust was the default, not fear?
And that leads directly into rewiring those limiting beliefs we mentioned. Awaken your back. Your potential really focuses on this. Beliefs like, I'm just bad with money.
Ooh, that's a common one. And if you believe it,
You tend to act in ways that prove it true. It becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. So the first step, Awaken Your Potential suggests, is just identifying them. What are those negative loops playing in your head?
and then you can't just stop believing something.
No, but you can consciously replace it. Awaken your potential. Your potential talks about using empowering beliefs or affirmations.
Like flipping I'm bad with money to I am capable of managing my money wisely, or I am learning to make good financial decisions.
Exactly. Or, money is a tool I can use for good. Or even just, I am worthy of abundance. Repeating these, consciously choosing them.
Starts to rewire the brain over time. It takes practice, though, consistency, as Awaken Your Potential points out.
Definitely. So, maybe take a moment. What's one limiting money belief you can catch yourself thinking? And what's an empowering replacement you could start using today?
Another huge piece of the puzzle, according to Awaken Your Potential, is gratitude.
Gratitude. It sounds almost too simple sometimes, but they explain why it's so powerful. It fundamentally shifts your focus
From what you don't have.
to what you do have, from lack to abundance, even small things.
Awaken Your Potential suggests being grateful for your income, whatever it is, grateful for your home, for food.
Even for the bills, which sounds weird, but
Yeah.
think about the service you received, the electricity, the water.
Right, reframing it, not just an obligation, but an exchange for something valuable.
And Awaken Your Potential says this practice actually softens that fear around money. It creates calm, makes you more open to opportunities.
So how could you weave more gratitude into just your daily money habits? Turn paying a bill into a moment of appreciation.
It's a powerful micro habit, really, which ties into their next point about wealth being more than just money.
Yes. Broadening that definition. Awaken Your Potential emphasizes things like your passion, your creativity, your energy.
Your generosity.
Yeah.
These are all forms of wealth, sometimes more valuable than the financial side.
They encourage finding ways to bring more passion into what you do, creating value from that energy, even if your resources feel limited right now.
It's about how you show up. So maybe think,
Yeah.
where can you bring more of you, more enthusiasm this week? Inspired by that, Awaken Your Potential idea.
And building on that internal richness, Awaken Your Potential talks about generosity.
Right, because giving, even in small ways, sends a powerful message to your subconscious.
What message is that?
I have enough to share. It combats the scarcity mindset directly.
And crucially, Awaken Your Potential clarifies it's not just about giving money.
Not at all. It's your time, your knowledge, your skills, a listening ear, simple kindness. That's all generosity.
So, guided by that Awaken Your Potential principle, what's one small act of generosity you could offer today?
This connects really well to their idea of redefining abundance for yourself.
Yeah, moving beyond just the societal scorecard of, big house, fancy car.
Exactly. Awaken Your Potential
Yeah.
prompts you to ask, what does abundance truly mean to me? Is it peace of mind, freedom to travel, creative expression, strong relationships, making a difference?
It's about getting clear on your personal definition, aligned with your values.
So thinking with that, awaken your potential lens.
Yeah.
What does your version of abundance feel like? And what's one tiny step you could take today towards that?
Now, this is where Awaken Your Potential gets really practical. Microactions. They stress that big changes come from small, consistent steps.
Yeah, not grand gestures you do once a year. It's the daily stuff. They give examples like,
Just noticing your emotions around money without judgment, or consciously replacing one limiting belief each day.
or practicing that gratitude for a few minutes. Doing one small, generous act. Maybe spending 15 minutes learning something new about finances.
They're all manageable things, right? But Awaken Your Potential shows how they build momentum. So which one of those feels doable for you starting today?
And all this leads back to a core theme in Awaken Your Potential's work. Emotional freedom is the real wealth.
Totally. You can have millions and still be consumed by anxiety.
Or have relatively little but feel completely at peace with your finances. That internal state is key.
Awaken Your Potential frames money as a tool, something to support your life and dreams, not control your emotions.
Imagine that. Feeling ease and confidence around money, whatever the balance says. That's the freedom they talk about.
They also touch on resilience, which is so important, especially when things feel uncertain.
Right. Resilience being that ability to bounce back, to adapt, awaken your potential, offers some great questions to build it.
Like asking, okay, what parts of this situation are actually in my control right now?
Who can I lean on for support? What could I possibly learn from this challenge?
Those questions shift you out of panic mode, don't they? Helps you navigate the ups and downs with more grace, as Awaken Your Potential suggests.
Definitely. So maybe reflect. How could you intentionally strengthen your own resilience using those kinds of questions?
And to help navigate Awaken Your Potential, strongly recommends creating an abundance vision.
Yeah, having clarity on where you're heading. Without a vision, it's easy to just drift, right?
So they suggest really visualizing it. What does that abundant life look like, feel like for you? The freedom, the creativity, connection, impact.
Write it down. Maybe make a vision board. Awaken Your Potential advises keeping it visible, reflecting on it daily.
So take time to define that vision, and then importantly, identify just one small step today that moves you towards it. That's the Awaken Your Potential way.
And finally, maybe the most empowering message from Awaken Your Potential. You are not your circumstances.
That's huge. Past mistakes, current debt, struggles. They don't define who you are or what's possible next.
You have the power to write the next chapter. It's a message of real agency.
So drawing on that Awaken Your Potential inspiration, what's one belief, one action, or even just one attitude you can consciously choose today that feels aligned with the abundance you want to create?
Because that's where it starts, isn't it? Small steps, intentional actions, fueled by hope and belief in yourself.
Yeah.
Core Awaken Your Potential stuff.
So what's one courageous step, maybe just a tiny one, you're willing to take today to start transforming this relationship with money?
Ultimately, as Awaken Your Potential makes so clear, getting free from financial stress and welcoming abundance. It's really an inside job. It's about the mindset shift.
Absolutely. And we really do encourage you to explore this further on the Awaken Your Potential YouTube channel. Check out that video, Break Free from Financial Stress and Attract Real Abundance Today. It unpacks these ideas with even more depth and practical tools.
It really does build beautifully on everything we've touched on here.
So let's leave you with a final thought to mull over, inspired by Awaken Your Potential. What's just one limiting belief about money you feel ready to release right now? And just imagine, how could letting go of that one thing start to change everything?
Let that question sit with you. It's been great diving into this with you today. We wish you all the best on your journey of growth and transformation, a journey awaken. Your potential is so brilliant at supporting